misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing, there's no way we ever could. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who lead it. We just feel like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's hard to beat the system when you're standing at a distance. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. If we had the power to bring our neighbors home from war, they would have never missed a Christmas, no more ribbons on their door. And when you trust your television, what you get is what you got. Cause when they own the information, oh, they can bend it all they want. That's why we're waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. We keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. And we're still waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. One day our generation is gonna rule the population. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. Now we keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change.
Awesome. Waiting for the world to change. Yay. So, good morning. Jum Rip Sur, Guten Morgen. Welcome, Vish Common, to Unity of Bellevue, a spiritual community where all, whether you're online or in the sanctuary, all are accepted here. If you are new, please get a welcome packet at the welcome table after the service. Inside the welcome packet, and also in your seat bags there, are connection cards for you to complete. Online friends, please visit our website, unityofbellevue.org, and go to the I'm New page to request a welcome packet. Also, we encourage everyone to sign up for our weekly e-newsletter to get the latest updates and news about Unity of Bellevue. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. Unity honors the universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. We are all divine in expression, regardless of race, color, gender, identity, religious background, national origin, ethnicity, physical disability, or sexual orientation. Here we are, second Sunday of August, which is named after Rome's first emperor after the assassination of Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, who completed his predecessor's calendar reform and also naming a month after himself. Spiritually, August is the month of protection and strength, a time to explore our inner visions and our true inner self. To help with that, one of the trees associated with August is cedar, which is a symbol of incorruptibility, protection, strength, and wisdom. All of these qualities are components of Wholeness in Action, our August Sunday service theme. Reverend Charles is on vacation this week. Reverend Monica McDowell will give Sunday's message today titled Jiu Jitsu with Jesus. So please, if you are able, stand so that together we will affirm our statement of being. Please, there is only one presence and one power active as my life and as the universe, God the good, omnipotent. And please remain standing so that we can also affirm our new mission statement. Together, please. We are an inclusive spiritual community that restores wholeness, practices peace, and promotes equity. We like to begin, thank you. Now you can go ahead and sit. Be comfortable, because we'd like to begin everything with prayer. So now Reverend Monica will lead us in the invocation. Thank you. Shishi.
Thank you, Joy. Let's start with prayer, and I invite you always to do a prayer pose that feels right and good for you and your body, either resting your hands in your lap, in front of your heart, steepling up above, connecting with your highest energies, rock concert style, whatever works for you, feels comfortable, connects you to your highest self. Let's pray. We invoke the divine presence, the great I am, this morning in this sanctuary. We come into this presence that fills our being, that fills every cell with the love and the peace and the joy that we are. The presence that tells us that we are loved and we are love. We take a sacred breath within. And on the out-breath, we release whatever is ready to be released in this moment. Breathing in again, deepening, opening our hearts to the divine heart, opening our minds to the divine mind. We bless this time together, knowing all is unfolding better than we can even imagine. We are so grateful, and so it is. And now I get to introduce our music director, Tony Surzo.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Reverend Monica. Excited to be here with you this morning on a beautiful day. We have Todd. Hello. And Eric with us. Please stand as you are able and join us in singing. Get you doing a little exercise this morning. And this one, whoopsie, is a gospel song that we've done before. And just make a joyful noise. All right, what? I got up this morning singing,
God is so good.
I got up this morning singing,
God is so good.
I got up this morning singing,
God is so good. My God is so good to me. Feeling good down in my soul, yeah. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul, yeah. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul, yeah. God is so good. My God is so good to me.
in my time of trouble I know God is so good. In my time of trouble I know God is so good. In my time of trouble I know God is so good.
My God is so good to me. In my time of triumph, I know God is so good. In my time of triumph, I know God is so good. In my time of triumph, I know God is so good. My God is so good to me.
the day is over, I'm singing, God is so good. When the day is over, I'm singing, God is so good. When the day is over, I'm singing, God is so good.
My God is so good to me. Every day, in every way, God is so good. Every day, in every way, God is so good. When I take time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. My God is so good to me.
Every day, in every way,
God is so good.
every day, in every way,
God is so good.
when I take time to praise the Spirit, when I take time to praise the Spirit,
Gotta take time to praise the Spirit.
God is so good.
My God is so good to me. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so, my God is so, my God is so good to me.
This is a 6/8. 4, 5, 6. Healed, whole, healed, whole, healed, whole, well. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I relax and visualize. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well, I am well. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I accept and I receive. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well, I am well. All right, proclaim it with me. Healed, whole, healed, whole, healed. We are whole and well. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I've got love surrounding me. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well, I am well. All is well. Thank you. Please be seated. I am loved, I am worthy and abundant. I am holy, I am peaceful and awakened. I am whole. I am power and compassion. I am consciousness in action. I am freedom, I am vision, I am whole. 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 I am loved. I am worthy and abundant. I am holy. I am peaceful and awakened. I am whole. I am power and compassion. I am consciousness in action. I am freedom. I'm a vision. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole.
changing up the order just a little bit today. I'm going to do a reading and then we'll do the children's message after that, before the children go back for their time. So the scripture this morning is taken from the Good News according to Luke, chapter 10, beginning with verse 25. I invite you to hear what the Spirit has to say to you through these words. A lawyer stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus said to him, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" The lawyer answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And Jesus said to him, "You have given the right answer. Do this and you will live." But wanting to justify himself, the lawyer asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell into the hands of robbers, who stripped him, beat him, and took off, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, while traveling, came upon him, and when he saw him, he was moved with compassion. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, treating them with oil and wine. Then he put him on his own animal, brought him to the inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said, 'Take care of him, and when I come back, I will repay you whatever more you spend.' Jesus continued, 'Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers?' The lawyer replied, 'The one who showed him compassion.' Jesus said to him, 'Go and do likewise.'" We give thanks for these words. Okay, so now I invite any children to come up. I think we have Soren and Shyla here. So come on up. And then we're going to sing afterwards. We're going to sing the song, so be prepared. We'll have the lyrics up here too. So, good morning. So I have something for you to choose. First of all, you can pick a heart that you want. Pick any of the hearts. Yep, pick one. Yep. You each get a heart. Yes, thank you. And that heart is for our lesson that I just read. It's all about love and being kind and compassionate. And it's saying there's 3 things that are most important to our lives, and that is loving God, 1. 2, loving ourselves, being kind to ourselves. And 3, loving and being kind to others. Pretty simple. 1, 2, 3. Loving God, loving ourselves, and loving each other. So those are the 3 most important things according to what we hear from Jesus and from the scriptures. I know that one of the things that you do back there is you give an offering to Unity of Bellevue, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for giving from your heart. Thank you for giving generously to Unity of Bellevue. The adults do that too. We do that into this bowl right here. We put our offerings and love offerings in there, and then we come and we get an affirmation, which is just a little statement for us to remember about how God loves us and how we can love ourselves and how we can love each other. So I'm going to let you pick an affirmation, and you can take that back with you. You can keep your heart, and you can pick one of the affirmations here. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, and you're excused. You can go to your class. You can take that, and your teacher can read that to you and do that as part of your offering. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving to us.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. Hit it.
no baggage, you just get on board. Faith is the key, open the doors and board. There's room for all if you just love the Lord. People get ready for the train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key, open the doors and board. There's hope for all among us who love the most. People get ready, there's a train coming. You don't need no ticket, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. I said you don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord.
Thank you so much, guys. So this story this morning is a common one. We've all heard the parable of the Good Samaritan. It's not new to us. If you're on Facebook, you may have seen actually a meme going around on this parable. Jim, the first slide. Jesus saying, love your neighbor as yourself. And the lawyer saying, who is my neighbor? And Jesus says, it's whoever you were hoping I wouldn't say. Right? Now this squares with Jesus, and you can put the slide back. That squares with Jesus in general, but it's actually not what the parable of the Good Samaritan says. So after doing some translating work, I discovered some nuances that I'd like to share with you this morning. So first of all, debates are common in Jewish culture. They were in Jesus' day, and they are today. They're especially important in the rabbinical culture. Rabbis debate all the time, theological discussions. So it's not surprising that a Jewish lawyer in this wants to debate Jesus. Now, this isn't a lawyer like we in our society, like an attorney. This is more like a theology professor, someone who interprets what we believe and how to apply it. So he wants to get into a theological debate with Jesus. I don't think he's trying to test Jesus, like to trap him, although it's possible. In the Greek, it means hypertest him. I think he wants to test Jesus' mettle. He wants to get into the ring with Jesus, do some sparring, see what Jesus is made of. He wants to do some grappling. I think that's more where this attorney, this lawyer, Jewish lawyer, is coming from. But he is engaging Jesus in a normal way for Jewish culture and Jewish rabbinical culture. Now, for whatever reason, Jesus seems not too interested in this debate. Maybe he does sense some ulterior motives, or maybe he's just tired. But for whatever reason, Jesus does a little deflection, a little Jiu Jitsu move. Jiu Jitsu comes from the Japanese word jujutsu, and it means gentle or yielding art. Many of the martial arts that we know today are based on this principle. It's a way of deflecting harm. It's a philosophy of yielding to an opponent's force rather than trying to oppose force to force. And we've all seen the videos of even a large person coming at a small person who practices one of the martial arts and flipping them over their shoulder, using the force to gain advantage, to change the scenario. So Jesus just deflects this opportunity debate. When Jesus is asked, what do I need to do to inherit life? Jesus turns it around and puts it right back on the lawyer and says, you're a lawyer, you tell me. What does the law say? And the lawyer quotes what the standard reply is, almost like a Jewish catechism. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and your soul and your mind and being, and your neighbor as yourself. That anybody could answer that. That's like Jewish catechism, any age. Jesus himself uses those standard replies many times. And Jesus says, great, do that, you'll live. Debate over. The debate even start, really. And so the lawyer isn't satisfied. That wasn't any kind of debate. Come on, Jesus, let's spar. He wants to really take on Jesus in a big way. And it says that he wants to justify his engagement. You know, he feels let down or he needs to save face. So he comes up with another question. Who is my neighbor? Now, this is also a common rabbinical debate at the time, and maybe still is. So it's not a new discussion. But Jesus does another jiu-jitsu move again. He deflects the question with his standard, a parable. And a parable is just stories with a moral. They're spiritual Aesop fables, right? And he replies with the parable of the Good Samaritan, which we know. These jiu-jitsu moves by Jesus are instructive for us at this time. There is a lot of chaotic, assaulting energy rising to the surface in our country and world. Every day we hear that our rights, our democracy, the earth are being attacked in new and daunting ways. People are on overwhelm. We just get done successfully protecting one thing and 10 more things pop up like a hydra. Some in the spiritual community encourage ignoring the drama because what you resist persists, right? And while I agree that resisting by fighting back at the same level just leads to more of the same, this ignoring the drama also means ignoring the suffering that our country is causing the most marginalized among us. So I want to offer a third way. Not one, resisting at the same level, or two, focusing only on the new and the positive while ignoring the suffering. But three, resisting by transmuting the assaulting energies. This third way actually transforms the whole scenario. And this is the energy jiu-jitsu, say jiu-jitsu with Jesus 5 times fast. Jiu-jitsu that Jesus offers us in this passage, and I want us to learn from. So back to the passage. Now, note, Jesus does not answer the question the lawyer asks. The lawyer asks, who is the neighbor, like in the meme. But Jesus instead jiu-jitsus the question itself. He turns it around and instead asks the lawyer who is being the neighbor. He jiu-jitsus it by changing it from the question of the other, like who is worthy or not of my love and my loving actions, to rather, am I being loving? Am I acting lovingly to everyone in every encounter, no matter the who? But there's another element to this story, this parable that we miss. There's a shock value in this parable. And it has to do with what happens between the Jews and the Samaritans in that culture at that time. The Samaritans were considered heathens and heretics by the Jews, beneath contempt. And likewise, the Jews were beneath the Samaritans in the Samaritan culture and beneath contempt. They had a mutual exclusion going on between those two societies. But we don't have an emotional connection to understanding that. So I'm going to try and translate some of the shock value for us. And I'm also going to change the title of the parable. I'm going to jiu-jitsu the title. Nowhere in the parable does it say that he is a good Samaritan. The word that's used is compassion. The parable of the compassionate Samaritan. So perhaps one way we could translate this parable for today for shock value is perhaps the parable of the compassionate Gazan who helps out the wounded Jewish settler. That would have the shock value if Jesus were to say that to Netanyahu and the Israeli government today. Or what about in our society? Perhaps the parable of the compassionate, undocumented immigrant helping a wounded white supremacist. Or the compassionate, transgendered teenager bringing food to a MAGA neighbor who's lost their SNAP benefits. There we're starting to get the shock value, the significance of this parable. It's another way for Jesus to jiu-jitsu the whole question about neighbors. He paints the outcast, the marginalized of society, as the epitome of society's highest ideals while helping out someone who would normally be assaulting them. So how do we go forward with all this jiu-jitsu, this transmuting of energies by our actions? First, I want to explain how I see it, and you are welcome to not see it how I see it, but I'm just going to explain how I see it. In consciousness, everything we feel, everything we think, intend, decide, and do are actions. They are internal actions in our internal world, and then there's external action in our external world. Our feelings, our thoughts, our intentions, and decisions are internal actions. Why? Because everything is energy. Our thoughts are energy, our feelings are energy. It's all going into the energy that is part of the collective consciousness. Everything we do inside is impacting the field matrix, the web that connects us all in oneness. Our internal actions have impact, as do our external actions. That's why Jesus says you can't condemn someone for stealing something if you've had a thought that's similar, like coveting someone's property. They're both actions. One's internal and one's external, but they're on the same spectrum of energy, from wanting what isn't yours to taking what isn't yours. Second, I want to explain how I work with it. I use the external world to help me work on my internal world. Some of you are familiar with this. It's called mirror work. It's one way to do shadow work. So if I see something in my external world that I have a reaction to, then I know I need to go inside and get myself aligned. I heal it inside with compassion. I get my feelings and thoughts and intentions in alignment, process until I can get there. And then I send compassion to myself, and then I send it out to the individual or the group who I've had a reaction to. While I'm also raising it in consciousness in my external world and taking action. This transmutes the energy, it jiu-jitsu's reality, and it is what I did during my entire saga. I would take internal action to align, and then external reality would shift. I could even feel it happening, and then I would get the proof. And so I'm going to give you an example. Now, in my saga, this was 25 years ago, I was in a lawsuit with a denomination. It's a long story. I wrote a book about it, so I wouldn't have to talk about it. But in that, it had gone on for several years. A lot had transpired. By the end, the Ninth Circuit Federal Court of Appeals had ruled in my favor and granted me limited civil rights. And then the en banc, the entire Ninth Circuit Court, had voted by the majority to uphold that ruling. So it was the first time a minister had ever been granted civil rights in the country. But the denomination I was dealing with was unwilling to settle after that. They kept saying they were willing to settle, but they would take no action. They would never respond to my civil rights attorney. And this had been going on for months, after years of this situation. Now, for the year or two prior to this situation starting to resolve, I had occasional dreams at night that I had cancer. And I would wake up in a fever and a rush, afraid that the toxic system I was dealing with had finally gotten to me, had finally made me sick. But I was reassured several times through divine guidance I wouldn't be affected by it. Well, right towards the end of this situation, I had another dream that I had cancer, and it was so clear. And because it was so clear, I went to the doctor, and sure enough, they found something that they said could be precancerous. Now, the system that I had been dealing with the denomination, they had a situation, and the reason I was holding them accountable was because they had a situation in their church and in their regional system. Basically, it was a cancer, a bad actor for 2 decades that they were unwilling to deal with. And that's why I was holding them accountable. And even during the saga, when everything came out in the open, they were still unwilling to deal with it. The Catholic Church sexual abuse cases came out during the same time and showed the same thing, unwilling to deal with the sickness in their midst. And so when I found out I could have precancer, and I had been holding the system accountable for not dealing with their sickness, that was a big clue. I had to do some of my own inner alignment. And so I went in to transmute reality, to deflect those assaultive energies to come into alignment with divine idea. And when I went into contemplation and I looked at their system, I realized they hadn't dealt with the sickness in their midst because fear of what destruction might happen. That was a really big church. If that church was destroyed, they would lose a lot of money. They paid a lot of dues. The person who was a bad actor could destroy their jobs. They could lose their jobs. They could lose their income. So they had a lot to lose on a lot of levels. They had fear of destruction, fear of great cost. So when I went inside and I was facing this pre-cancer, I saw the same fears. I was afraid of the destruction dealing with this cancer might have on my body. I was afraid of the potential cost of dealing with this in my body. I understood those fears. And so I gave myself compassion for those fears. I aligned my internal actions, my feelings and thoughts, and then I sent that compassion out to the system. Oftentimes that was enough to shift the system. Just those internal actions would change reality, but not in this situation. In this situation, they had not been acting, so I had to take external action to align. I had to go and get a biopsy and find out what was going on. I had to take the risk. I had to show them, I had to demonstrate what they were unwilling to do. Well, as it turned out, the only day available for that biopsy was Good Friday. The synchronicities were abundant. The day Jesus is crucified is the day that I have to go get a biopsy. And my friend, I have two friends here who walked with me through the whole thing. One of them had said to me, God sure has a wicked sense of humor with you. Indeed. But you know, on the way back from that biopsy, when my husband was driving us back from Northwest Hospital, we were not 2 minutes back on I-5. 2 minutes, my cell phone rings. Reality had shifted. My civil rights attorney is on the phone. She says, Monica, I have good news. They've finally agreed to settle. They've reached out. We've got the terms down. So my saga was finally going to end. I had aligned myself internally and aligned my external actions with that internal alignment. And within a few minutes of that action taking place, something that had been refused to shift for months transmuted, just like that. Now, the results of my biopsy came back that following Monday, which was Easter Monday. I was fine. There was nothing. Yeah. And the terms of settlement got signed on the following Friday, which happened to be April Fool's Day. And I had always called myself the stupid fool through this whole saga because I was willing to follow divine guidance no matter what it was. Be careful what you say to God. I was a stupid fool. So it was a perfect completion, a perfect jiu-jitsu of this entire reality. Otto Rank, one of the original psychoanalysts who laid the foundation for the transpersonal psychology movement, says what we achieve inwardly will change external reality. When we get into alignment with the core of our being, everything else can follow along. The foundation of our being, of course, is love, what we teach here at Unity. Love, joy, peace, wholeness, to name just a few of these eternal qualities of our beingness. When we align our feelings, our thoughts, our intentions, our internal actions, and our external action, it causes the outer world to get more into alignment as well. Now, we live in a dense dimension, so things can take a while to show up, but they can also shift just like that. Now, what Jesus is saying overall through this parable of the compassionate Samaritan is that when we align ourselves with loving God, with our internal being, our external actions will match. We will act lovingly to others when we get into alignment. Alignment means internal action and external action go together. We love God, we love ourselves in our internal actions, and we love others in our external actions. I found an old article. I'll post it on social media, on Facebook, for those of you who are on there, so you can read the whole thing. It's hysterically funny. It's somebody that's talking about Whole Foods, and I don't shop at Whole Foods all that much, mostly PCC. But this is how the article starts. Whole Foods clientele are all about mindfulness and compassion until they get to the parking lot. Then it's war. As I pulled up this morning, I saw a pregnant lady on the crosswalk holding a baby and groceries. The driver swerves around her and honks. And as he speeds off, I caught his bumper sticker, Namaste. Next slide, Jim. So do not buy this shirt. Namaste and stay out of my way. You can put it down. I mean, you can say namaste and stay out of my way. You can say I see the Christ in you and be abusive to you, but it means you're not aligned. You're not matching inside. So it means you just go in and do a little bit more work, right? So keep aligning with the divine ideas and keep expanding them into universal consciousness. There was the movie Contact, which is based on Carl Sagan's book of the same name. In that movie, the father is a ham radio operator, and he's teaching his daughter Ellie how to operate it in a flashback in the movie. And he's teaching her to not change the dial too quickly, to listen to the frequencies in between the channels. He tells her, small moves, Ellie, small moves. And she applies this in her adult career listening, where she's dialing into the stars of the galaxy, listening for signs of life. When your canvas is as big as the universe, when your consciousness is as big as the universe, small moves have big impacts. When you have big consciousness, an act, an internal or external act the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. In Taoism, one thought, thought well, travels 10,000 miles. The butterfly effect in your consciousness is this amazing thing. Do not dismiss the small moves, the hidden act of kindness, the inner act of forgiveness, the love sent in prayer to a loved one or a stranger, the Reiki we send out to the world, the peace one holds in light of a tragedy, personal or global, the postcards you write, the phone calls you make, the praying with your feet protests you do, the donations, the compassion you send to our leaders, even when they are doing harmful things. Find the person in your life that you find the most difficult to love, whether it's yourself, whether it's a relative, maybe someone in this community, maybe someone in politics, maybe a neighbor. Find that person within you and heal them here. Find compassion for why those energies started in the first place. Find the source. What's the fear behind those assaulting actions? And hold it in compassion, and then send compassion out to that person or group while also holding accountability in the external world. It will change reality. The more you align, the more you're clear, even small internal and external actions can have huge impact. Never doubt your worth. Never doubt your effect on the world. Next slide, Jim. Ram Dass, you won't be able to see this. I'll just quote. I'll post this on social media for anybody who wants to see it later. Ram Dass, the great spiritual teacher, he says, Mayor Baba said it beautifully. Love has to spring from within. You can't coerce it from another person, but you can be it. And it catches on. It's very catchy. You are it, and then somebody else catches it from you. When I am centered, I can walk into any vibrational field and take it and convert it, Jiu Jitsu it. I am just feeling love. So whatever is coming at me, anger, paranoia, distrust, I am just taking it all and I am converting it, Jiu Jitsuing it. I see the net they're stuck in. I see the model of universe they have, but instead of climbing it into it with them, my job is to say, yeah, I see you, but we are here. Then immediately we are on a new level. All of this stuff fades to this greater force, and then it goes through everybody you meet. They feel this fantastic force, and the force keeps passing to others. And the more you transcend your own identity, you are able to override any other force fields just by the nature of your being. As you get more and more cosmic perspective, you are more and more energy, and then everything you do, everything you think happens. It's synchronicity. It's always happening. We just haven't noticed it. So Ram Dass is he's aligning those internal actions with divine idea, and even just the external action of walking into a room changes external reality. Consciousness is not just divine mind, universal mind. It's divine heart. It's universal heart. Loving feelings, loving thoughts, loving decisions. So expanding your consciousness is also expanding your heart field. Expanding your love, sending it out, even as we act to hold accountable and while we build the new for a world that works for everyone. Remember that what you send out is what comes back to you. Martin Luther King Jr., hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So we want to be compassion. We want to act internally with compassion, with our feelings, our thoughts. We want to act externally with compassion. That's what the parable of the Compassionate Samaritan is all about. This soul alchemy, this spiritual juice that Jiu Jitsu's external reality, acting internally and externally with compassion. So next slide, Jim. Larry Selman was the least likely of those you would think to impact reality. You can keep that up for just a second. He lived on Bedford Street. Actually, next slide. Does anybody recognize this? It looks familiar. Does anybody know what it is? What is it? Close? Close? What? Friends. This is the front of the building that supposedly the Friends all lived in on the TV show Friends. Larry Selman actually did live here. And he moved there when he was an adult, and he quickly became involved in his local block association. He was helpful to his neighbors. He accepted deliveries when they couldn't be there. He swept the sidewalk. He reminded neighbors of other neighbors' birthday. What he was most known for, though, was asking absolutely everyone he met for a donation. You can put the slide down. He would often base himself at that corner, hitting up passersby, neighbors, tourists, everyone he encountered for causes like cancer, St. Vincent's Hospital, the families of fallen firefighters after 9/11, the annual AIDS walk, on and on. He was a relentless force on the streets of Greenwich Village, raising a few cents to $1 at a time. One of his neighbors said, to say that Selman was a persistent fundraiser is like saying that Bruce Springsteen occasionally rocked the house. And by the end of his life, his community calculated that he had raised over $500,000 for local charities. Larry was intellectually disabled with an IQ of 60 and was practically living in poverty himself, making his activism all the more remarkable. One of his neighbors said about him, if you measure people's hearts instead of their IQs, Larry's would have been completely off the charts. A universal heart. Due to his living situation, when an elderly uncle could no longer care for him, Larry's neighbors got together and did something that had never been done in the country before. They created a community trust fund so that Larry would be able to age in place and stay in his beloved community. The trust would mean that they'd be able to hire doctors and social workers and buy food and whatever he needed to stay. People of all ages raised money for this trust fund, even neighbors who had moved away to different states. And young children would stand on the sidewalks with buttons with his photo and raise money for this beautiful man. He had a documentary made about him, and it was nominated for an Oscar. It was called The Collector of Bedford Street. You can watch it for free through KCLS. I did last week. The Kiwanis Club uses this movie about Larry as a model for teaching service leadership to high school students. And when Larry was in LA to receive an award for his volunteerism, right alongside with Colin Powell, they were the two award winners, what did he do? He hit up Colin Powell for a donation. And he received a $100 bill. It was the highlight of his night. Larry says, I believe there is a God, and God put us here for a reason. I learned this from going to synagogue. He died in 2013 at age 70, and his neighbors sat Shiva in his apartment for him. While they were sitting Shiva for him, 2 contingents from New York City Fire Department's Ladder Company 5 showed up. 2 entire contingents of firefighters showed up in full uniform to pay respects to a man with an IQ of 60. But with a heart as big as the universe, because he had relentlessly collected for the families of firefighters who had perished or been injured in 9/11. There was not a dry eye in that apartment. His neighbors petitioned and had the street renamed. There it is, renamed with a street sign that now declares that TV famous street corner as Larry Selman Way. At the unveiling of the street sign, one of his neighbors told a gathering of the neighbors and the local legislators, "We feel that Larry actually created this community and that we are all beneficiaries of that. I hope we can pass it forward." Larry Selman shows us that to be a compassionate Jew, or a compassionate Samaritan, or a compassionate Gazan, or a compassionate American, even the smallest of actions by the least significant people according to society's standards, acting with great compassion and consciousness, which means anyone doing small things with great love can Jiu Jitsu reality, can transmute an entire New York City neighborhood, and I dare say can transmute the country and the world into being places where we love and we care for each other. May it be so. So it is. We're going to move now into a time of meditation and just let this energy settle in. So please close your eyes while Todd plays. Breathing in. Finding that place within that holds love, that is always there, that place of compassion, that open-hearted place. Just breathe into that space for a few breaths. We feel that love and that compassion for ourselves, no matter what. And we send that love and compassion out to everyone in this space, here physically and also virtually. We send that love and compassion, knowing that even this internal action is making a difference. Send it to all beings on the planet. We send it with gratitude for life, with gratitude for the divine beingness that connects us all in oneness. We send that compassion out to even the person that is the most challenging for us, no matter what. We send out the love and the light. Just see it filling all the spaces here. And in this city, just seeing the light surrounding people and houses and buildings. Sending it to our state, to our whole country, seeing the lights, feeling the love. Every state. To our leaders, we send loving compassion and light. To the world's leaders, we send loving compassion and light. We see the light spinning around the globe, bringing more light, more awareness, more awakening, more consciousness of that love and light, opening people's hearts and minds to the love that we are, bringing oneness, knowing that as we act to the other is how we act to the Christ. And in this moment, we take a moment of contemplation to find one external action we can do this week for ourselves, for a neighbor, for the person who's most challenging for you to love, whoever it is. Find an external action that aligns with that internal action of compassion. Set the intention to do that action this week. Maybe ask others to help you. We come back to our heart, our own heart space, feeling the love, feeling the compassion. We are so grateful. So it is.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're feeling down, put a little
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Perfect. So now is the time in our service where we give back with love for our community and for our source that gives us everything. This month, our tithe goes to World Central Kitchen, in addition to all of the unities that we support. So we will bless that as well. What happens is our what Reverend Charles calls our spiritual walk of abundance. And, you know, if you're Joy, it's the spiritual dance of abundance, right, Joy? So you can walk or dance, or we're going to do a song. You may be, you know, kung fu fighting here, so doing some little Jiu Jitsu moves. But once you come, and if you have a physical offering, you can place it in the bowl, and then you can exit to the side that you sit on, and you can grab an affirmation as you do, so that you receive back. And if you're online, we have places online that you can go, unityofbellevue.org/give, text to give, and the QR code. Jerry is our usher, so he will excuse each row at a time. So let's do our offering affirmation. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving. This is the bounty of God, and I send it forth with wisdom and joy.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those guys were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. They fought with expert timing. They were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were chopping metal, they were chopping them down. It's an ancient Chinese art, everybody knew their part. From a feint into a slip, and a kick right from the hip. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those guys were fast as lightning. Ha! In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Expert timing. And little Sammy Chong. He said, hey, here comes the big boss. Ooh, well, let's get it on. Took them all and made a stand. Started swaying with our hands. Sudden motion made me skip. Now we're a brand new trick. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Ha! Those guys were fast as lightning. Woo. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. It was with expert timing. Oh, oh, everybody was kung fu fighting. Ha! Those cats were fast as lightning. A little bit frightening, up with expert timing. Oh, oh, oh.
Our hands in blessing. We give thanks for these tithes and love offerings. We give thanks for the gift of time and talent represented here this morning, all given from our sacred hearts, from the gift of love for each other, for this community, for the divine source that blesses us, that gives us life, that gives us love. We call forth the law of circulation that as we give, so we receive. We bless these tithes and love offerings that they enable us to be a healing force of wholeness in our community and world. We are so grateful, and so it is. Joy.
Got our energy up for our announcements. We're going to kung fu fight. Okay. So here we go. We offer one-on-one prayer following service every Sunday. So today, Reverend Mora, yay, over there, will be front near the stage if you have any prayer requests. Approach any one of them and they will pray with you. Also, there are prayer cards in the seat backs and also over there in the atrium. If you are online, you can go to our prayer page at unityofbellevue.org or /pray and fill out the form there. The prayer chaplains will respond via email. We also offer lunch every Sunday. Yay! Today's lunch is baked chicken hosted by Kathy Lane. Thank you, Kathy. It's delicious. Today and next Sunday, Ruth is offering yoga at the library at 12:30 p.m. It's a drop-in friendly and on a love offering basis, please. If you'd like to have some fun golfing together this summer, there is a sign-up in the atrium on the Team Unity table, and please, you can also see Gwen. She's got that lovely luau over there with any questions. Tai Chi meets Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Drop-ins are welcome at $30 per class. There is a Reiki share online this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. If you are a Reiki practitioner, the Zoom link is in the email that Monica sent out. Our back-to-school backpack drive ends next Sunday, so please bring in those backpacks or donate online or at the bookstore. Reverend Charles is on vacation until August 14. Also, please, some dates to remember. Rummage sale is on Saturday, September 6 at 9 a.m. The used book and media sale is on Saturday, October 4 at 9 a.m. The holiday arts and crafts, Sunday, October 19 at 10 a.m. The fall faith series coming up, The Amen Effect. The class with Reverend Charles begins in September, and you can buy your books at the bookstore and also the workbooks, please. So let's please close with the peace song with Reverend Monica.
Surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful week. We love you.